I'm sure the advisors who are watching are going to see value in this, and hopefully they will also have good high retentions like you and win many incentive trips. How many trips have you gone to now? Hello, it's Zola here. Thank you for watching my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to a financial advisor, Sibongile Sifani. She's going to discuss strategies that she uses to ensure that she keeps a higher retention rate, otherwise known as a persistency rate. We all know that South African consumers are under a lot of financial pressures, so it's becoming increasingly difficult for financial advisors to help their clients to maintain paying their policy premiums. But some advisors like Sibongile seem to do it very well. The persistency rate currently is sitting at over 90%. She works predominantly in the middle income market within the public sector and does almost 90%, I would say, of risk business. So, and yet she still manages to keep that high persistency rate. And obviously she's doing things in a certain way that enable her to manage that result. Of course, the benefit of keeping a high persistency rate to an advisor means that you retain the fruits of your labor. Because if you write a client today and then 3 months down the line, the policy lapses, it becomes a clawback to you as the advisor, meaning you are not retaining the fruits of your labor. So it's definitely a skill set that one needs to work on in order to master. And Sibongile is going to help us to do that. So Sibongile, maybe just introduce yourself briefly, tell us who you are. How long have you been in the industry?
My name is Sibongile Sifani. Zola has already told you my name. I am married with 2 beautiful kids. I've been in the industry for 8 years now.
So what do you enjoy most about the career of financial advisor?
Okay, I love interacting with people. You know, making new relationships every day. I love that. And also just helping out the clients when it comes to finances. Lots of people, they are struggling out there when it comes to managing their finances. So I just enjoy sitting down with them and just talk about their finances. Sure. And how I can assist them to live with confidence, if I can put it that way.
Sure. Oh, very brilliant. Now let's talk more specifically around retention. What would you say is the key to be able to ensure you keep a high retention or persistency rate?
It's all about knowing your clients, basically. You just have to know your clients. I mean, they are not the same. We do have clients that make sure their policies deduct first before they use their money. We do have clients that, and then we do have clients that they will use their money and think about the policies later on. So it's all about knowing your clients. In this industry, it's all about the relationship with the client. Ne? And also the other thing, you mustn't don't write the policy and disappear. That's the other thing, because if you disappear, then the client misses the premium. You're only there when they miss the premium to call them and say, but all along you were not there to assist the client with other things. So be there for the client all the time. Sometimes I do get even clients who call me if they don't see that the premium has not been paid yet. They will phone me to say, Sibongile, I'm not seeing anything on my, I'm not getting an SMS to say the company has deducted. Ne? And then I will obviously go and assist the client and see if we really did not deduct, or the client is not just, the client is not just seeing that. And obviously it goes back to the relationship, because if you don't have the relationship with the client, they will not contact you or keep on checking if their things are also in order.
Now let's talk about your process. How do you deal with cases where clients have missed premiums? What is the process that you follow to ensure that the policy does not end up lapsing?
So obviously I will phone the client. We get emails that says the debit order did not get through. And then I will phone the client to just find out if they know whether they have missed the premium or no. Because some clients, they don't even check if the policy has been paid or not. So I will phone the client and ask if they know but they did not pay, and then if some will say yes, I know, but it's fine, they can double deduct next month. Okanye they will say yes, I know, and I don't want a double deduction, so I will make sure that I pay before end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously I will follow up on that to make sure they do pay it.
It seems that the debit order system that is utilized also makes it a bit challenging for you to retain or ensure that clients don't miss their premiums. Because you mentioned earlier, like if the debit order deduction date is on a weekend or public holiday, the debit will only go the following working day.
Yes.
And in between, the client could have used their funds. How do you help clients to prevent those scenarios from happening, that they actually prioritize paying the premiums? Like, what kind of conversations do you have? Any conversations up front to help clients understand how the debit order system works so that they avoid missing paying premiums?
Okay. First time when I'm writing that policy, I tell the client, listen here, we are slow, if I can put it that, we are slow when it comes to deducting a debit order, And also, if your payday is on weekend or public holiday, and then you get paid on a Friday before that debit order date, we're not gonna deduct. We're only gonna deduct the next month. So if you know that you are somebody who says on a payday you go and take all your money from the bank, then this is not for you. Because you're not gonna be able to maintain your policy.
So you have that conversation upfront
with the clients.
With all clients who are
debit order,
Debit order. Okay.
With all my clients, that's what I tell them.
Right.
So I'm gonna make an example. On Wednesday, I had a client like that. He wanted me to do a replacement. So I told the client, if your payday is going to be on weekend or public holiday, we are going to deduct the following working day. So you need to keep your money for us. And then he was like, I won't be able to.
Really?
Yeah,
sure.
he told me straight, I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to keep the money. I want, when my money is in the bank account, I want the company to quickly take my money. Then I was like, you know what, just go and think about it. Let's not do anything for now. Go think about it and see, are you really going to be able to maintain your policies?
Sure.
So we ended it like that. I did not write him a policy.
Wow, sure. That's very rare that an advisor will forego an opportunity like that. What gives you the confidence to be able to have such a conversation? Because, as an advisor, you don't want to miss an opportunity to do business.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know, as an advisor, you don't want to miss the opportunity to do business. But at the same time, you don't want it to have clawbacks. You don't want, your retention to go down. Because as much as I can write the policy now, 3 months down the line, the commission is being taken from me. My retention is being affected. My business is being affected. So I would rather not do business now. Maybe later on, if he sees, I really need it, he will come back and say, Sis, I'm ready now, let's do this. But for now, it's fine. I would rather lose business.
Wow, sure. Yeah, that's very commendable. And so what other tactics have you seen that have helped you to ensure that you keep that retention very high and that you actually assist clients to make sure that their premiums are paid?
I would say when it comes to this thing of missing a premium, it's not nice to all the time you must phone the client and say, hey, pay up your policy. No, don't forget to... It's not something that you want to do all the time, because we don't have a lot of time on our hands also to be doing that, you see. So obviously at first I will phone the client maybe 2 months reminding them. But if they continue doing the same thing, then I will tell them, Bana, listen here, I'm not going to be reminding you all the time about your policy. It's not like this is my policy or you did me a favor by taking out the policy. The policy is yours at the end of the day. So let's meet halfway. If you really want this policy, make sure you keep it and make sure it's getting money every month. I'm not going to be calling you all the time. Sometimes you have to not take those harsh steps when it comes to the clients. So sometimes I really tell them, Bana, I'm not going to keep on reminding you. It's your policy. So you need to make sure everything is in order.
Okay. Are there any other steps that you implement when you find that this is a marginal client? The client is, you can see that maybe affordability may be an issue. It's like a marginal case, but the client persuades you, but they're really committed to this. They will pay. How do you negotiate those kinds of scenarios or situations with clients?
Yeah, obviously you get those clients who would say to you, no man, that's not what I do. Now usually I leave my money for so long. Sometimes I go and take it after a week.
Okay.
After my payday, I'll go take it after a week. But still, you take a word, you take what the client is telling you, Bana, no, I'm not somebody who goes, and then, but I will tell them, Bana, your policy will lapse again. If you are somebody who will go and take the money. And then some clients, they will tell you, Bana, no, you know what I'm going to do is that I'm somebody who takes my money on payday. But what I'm going to do is that I will take that money on payday and then I need the banking details so that same day I pay my policy. If you do have the banking details that I can use, then I can do that. Okay. But usually if a person like that is somebody that maybe we're working on a stop order. Okay. They don't afford now because these policies are still on the pay slip. So obviously we'll say, okay, it's fine, you can do that, 1-2 months. Soon as those policies are gone, we must put the policies back. I do have clients like that, I don't want to lie, who would say, yes, Sibongile, I'm somebody who early in the morning I'm at the bank and I'm taking all the money out of the account. But I know, Bana, we're working towards the stop order with that person.
But maybe as a final question, what advice would you give to an advisor currently who's struggling with retention?
Okay, I would say, firstly, don't be desperate when it comes to e-business. Don't just write e-business for the sake of, I want to have policy, I also want to have numbers on the board. Don't get desperate. And also, secondly, be honest with the client, Just create that good relationship with the client. And also, when it comes to honest, and just be transparent, man. Be transparent. First time you're writing the policy, just tell the policy what happens with the company. Because obviously, companies, they don't work the same. Some companies, they are quicker with their debit orders. Some companies are a bit slow. It's not about a bit slow, but it's the systems that are, So it's all about being honest. Just tell the client what happens with your company.
Well, from what I've picked up from you, number one, relationship. You stressed that quite a bit, that the quality of the relationship will determine the quality of your persistence and retention, basically. But beyond that, with the relationship, you mentioned honesty, being upfront with the client and explaining to the client how the debit order system or process works. And you also mentioned later that if you are working, the client doesn't qualify now for a stop order, but you're working towards getting the policy to deduct via stop order in future, that you also have an arrangement or a system in place that you monitor somehow so that happens eventually, and not to be desperate for business, which I think goes back to the first question I asked, or I think the second question anyway, is what gives you that confidence not to be desperate. Maybe you can, close off with that.
Go out there and see as many clients as you can. So if you've got, if you do have lots of clients, and also the other thing about be honest, obviously if you're honest with the client, just do a good job with the client, I would put it that way. Because if you do a good job with one client, that client definitely is gonna refer you to somebody. I work with referrals. I can't remember when last I did the cold calling. I work with the referrals, and I know Bana, if I wrote somebody at municipality, that person is going to refer me to somebody who's working there. So it's stop order. Same thing in Dora. I do write Ilendo at the hospital. I do write debit orders. If I do a good job with that one nurse, she's gonna refer me to somebody that they know, Bana, this person, when they are serious when it comes to their policies. Sure. It also goes back to just doing a good job with the client. Make sure you give it your all. Somebody said to me at Dora, hey, when it seems like you are now working here, you just come in and go as you like.
Sure.
So for you not to be desperate, it's all about seeing more clients, because you get desperate. If you don't have business again, and you end up being desperate. But if you're seeing more clients and you've got lot of business coming up, you're not gonna be desperate.
Well, I think there's probably some more insights you could give around that topic of how to develop the confidence. Maybe that is for another video, not now, because there's definitely a lot more questions I'd love to ask you about how you got there, because it's really a mindset thing, because it may be easy to say, hey, don't be desperate, but when you're in that situation, it's kind of, you're in a different mindset. You somehow need maybe more help than self-help to get out of that mindset, to develop the strength to go into the marketplace and feel that you actually got value to offer. But it's maybe a topic of discussion for another video. But when it comes to retention, you definitely got it all under wraps. And I like the fact that you mentioned being honest and upfront with the client to a point where you explain the processes of how the systems work when it comes to debit order deductions and so on. I think it makes a world of difference. I think if I were your client and you sat down with me and you actually did not just take it for granted that I know how debit order works, that you actually explain, like, hey, Zola, just be mindful that if it's a public holiday, we're not gonna debit, we'll debit the following working day. Are you and you have that frank discussion with me. Are you a person who takes all your money on that day? And then upfront what you're dealing with as an advisor, instead of taking a gamble, hoping for a different outcome. Well, thank you so much, Sibongile. I'm sure the advisors who are watching are going to see value in this, and hopefully they will also have good high retentions like you and win many incentive trips. How many trips have you gone to now? So again, I hope you found value in this video and you've seen how easy it can become to actually retain your clients, making sure that you have a high persistency and retention rate. And obviously that will enable you to win many incentives and awards with whatever company that you're working for, because retention is always a key measure in terms of the quality of the business that you do. If you found value in this video, please make sure you like it and just leave a comment letting me know what you enjoyed most about the video. And most importantly, please subscribe and hit that notification bell and look out for these videos.
I can feel the pain on my back, Keep on taking pills every day, Trying not be pain on my back, Still tryna change on my face, yeah.